But it's gonna take more than that!
Hello everyone, I'm back to fill your ears with more silly information about hypotheticals in a fictional story. I know I haven't made some original content for about a week, I'm sorry about that, but my whole existence right now is fully dedicated to finishing and painting my 40k Tau TX4 Piranha. It's like this cool speeder bike that the Tau used to zip around, and it's technically the first model vehicle I've ever fully constructed and painted, so I'm kind of having the time of my life right now. But with that out of the way, today's video is about everyone's favorite burly-browed chef of the sea. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be talking about Vinsmoke Sanji of the Straw Hat Pirates, and I'm going to quickly be going over all the reasons I could find why he's probably going to be the next character with a big Conquerors Haki reveal. Ever since I could remember, and ever since I learned what Conquerors Haki actually was, I always knew that Zoro would eventually get it. Kinda seemed like the second main character, who's just a beast of a person and has goals and ambitions of literally becoming the best swordsman in the world. To do so, he's got to defeat somebody who's most definitely has Conquerors Haki, so it was pretty obvious to me that Zoro, also being the Silver's Rayleigh parallel, that I just assumed he would be getting Conquerors Haki in the future. This knucklehead, on the other hand, with the twisty eyebrows, this dude, up until probably the last 10 One Piece chapters, I probably would have told you there is not a shot in hell that Sanji is meant to get Conquerors Haki, and up until the past recent months, I would have told you that it's not even necessary or fitting for Sanji's character to obtain it. Well, throw that all out the window right now, because we're in Wano country, baby. The place where Oprah lives up in this huge, gleaming samurai tower, screaming to everybody, saying, "And you get Conquerors Haki! And you get Conquerors Haki! We all get Conquerors Haki!" Conquerors Haki has always been this thing that we've thought that you could maybe infer somebody has it based on criteria, or even just like a list of character traits, but at this rate, it really just seems like whoever Oda wants to have Conquerors Haki just has it. And ever since Dylan showed me this panel of Don Chinjao in the manga telling us that Conquerors Haki is basically a standard for everyone who calls themselves a great and powerful figure in the New World. So that easily includes every Yonko, every Admiral, and probably every First Commander as well. That being said, Sanji is, in my eyes, like as an unconfirmed user, has the most evidence for having Conquerors Haki. Let's get into it. First off, there's this bit of kanji that's been showing up recently in the manga, and while I didn't know or understood what it meant at first because I'm just a white person and I can't even type kanji into Google what it meant, I found on the internet that it actually kind of translates to stare or just glare. This has been done multiple times throughout Wano. Once is when Luffy used Conquerors Haki in the Udon prisoner mines against the prisoners. Second time is when Zoro was revealed to be a Conquerors Haki user after using Ashura against Kaido. Lastly, the third time we see this coincidentally is when Sanji was using the raid suit against X-Drake and Hawkins and kind of going into this hyper-focused mode. With Zoro awakening Conquerors Haki this arc, as well as Kid becoming a confirmed user, and even Yamato learning how to use it through advanced fighting techniques, after noticing this little bit of kanji, it's really the first clue for me that Oda could actually be foreshadowing that Sanji gets Conquerors. This kanji is obviously indicative of it, and while I've read that they're not completely like the same between Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy, they're all relatively kind of the same and pretty much have the same translations. And this type of kanji only comes up when somebody is doing Conquerors Haki and imposing their will on others, to my knowledge. So it's just a huge clue that Sanji is probably going to obtain it. Conquerors Haki, like I said before, is almost a stipulation in being one of the top dogs in the One Piece world, and without it, you're low-key kind of outscaled and boxed out by these people. It gets even more ridiculous when you realize that once a person seems to utilize it through advanced techniques, they've almost entered this little realm, this little bubble of their own where only goats can come and go, and really only other individuals with this power can even hope to contest them. With Yamato joining the crew, possibly in the future, Sanji is still struggling to prove his current superiority against Jambe, coupled with him fighting Queen. Like, Sanji still has to have some sort of power boost, or he's simply just going to be left behind and he's not going to be a big three character any longer. And Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy are clearly the big three. They are going to be the strongest Straw Hats on the crew, end of series, for sure, which means Sanji will have to obtain an asset in order to get there. And it almost seems like he can't even hope to reach there without getting Conquerors Haki, because how will he even be able to compete with bigwigs in the future who also have it? Like, we've gotten multiple non-canon cinematics depicting Zoro, Luffy, and Sanji competing with admirals, and by end of series, all of them probably should be able to do so. With all the admirals heavily implied to have Conquerors Haki, I just don't know how Sanji could ever hope to compete. Next thing, Sanji is weirdly kinda a great leader, and even though this doesn't really matter that much in the grand scheme of things, it's been implied that people with Conquerors Haki are jocks and natural-born commanders who influence others with their strong will. It was recently pointed out to me that besides Luffy, the only other character who consistently, effortlessly brings others to his cause and almost gains an affection and loyalty from them is Sanji. Like, there have been multiple characters in the story who were intent on murdering Sanji and tricking him so that him and his crew would perish. But in the meantime, they always managed to grow to like Sanji and appreciate his kindness and appreciate his goofiness. Pudding and Viola are both characters who fell victim to this, for example. Also, Sanji literally took command and gained the admiration of the G5 Navy group, who are a band of the Navy's most misbehaved and ill-mannered pirate-hating Marines. But literally in a matter of moments, Sanji had gained their loyalty and admiration. Also, Sanji has some cool feats of will and intimidation against the fire tank pirates, which is sick considering Sanji isn't even the captain of his own ship, and he's literally just the cook. Another striking piece of evidence is that the leaks for the Volume 100 cover indicate that it will contain Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Ace, Yamato on the cover. All of these characters besides Sanji are confirmed Conquerors Haki users, so a lot of people are led to believe that this is Oda foreshadowing Sanji finally obtaining Conquerors Haki in the future. Lastly, one of the biggest early indications of fans believing that Zoro would unlock Conquerors Haki is the Fishman Island panel where both him and Sanji react to Luffy using it against the enemy fishmen, stating, if he couldn't at least do that, we would probably have to find another captain. You know, or roughly it translates to that. All the Viz translations, all the English translations are a little bit different. For the longest time, this is what Zoro stans had been using to say that he was going to get Conquerors Haki, but what's more striking is the fact that Sanji also, before Zoro even speaks, states that he's fully aware and educated on what Conquerors Haki is. He mentions it like he knows what it is, and that he had a huge hunch that Luffy had it. With Scopper Gaben being shown to be evenly matched in a duel with Odin in the anime recently, both of them huffing and puffing, and also considering the scaling of One Piece, the enemies are just going to keep on getting stronger, and therefore the big three, especially Sanji, will have to get stronger in return. For all these reasons, I'm pretty much in the boat that either Sanji is going to have his genetic enhancements finally awaken, making him go Super Saiyan, or we're just going to get another Conquerors Haki user on the crew. With all that being said though, I'm sure I missed a couple of things, and if there are some reasons you can think of for why Sanji will be getting Conquerors Haki besides the obvious boring fact that he's technically a prince of an evil and large organization, then leave it down in the comments below. I love comments. They're my favorite thing about YouTube, and I will be sure to get back to you in some way. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to slap a like on it. If you're enjoying the content on the channel, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a neck tattoo when I hit 1,000 subs. If you want to see me get a tattoo that I might regret, be sure to subscribe to the channel. With all that being said, I'm going to have to see you guys in the next one. Peace.